Hey everyone, Doug from Real Simple Housing. Hey, we're here today with Sean Points over at Stonescape Steel Roofing up here in Fort Collins, Colorado. Super excited to be here. Thanks for having us up.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
And we're getting a chance to talk to you about 203K program. So that's the FHA Loan Rehabilitation Program. That's an incredible opportunity for you as a first-time entry-level buyer to come into a home that needs some rehabilitation and fix it up. But the real key to making the whole system work smoothly is having a really good quality contractor that's able to take care of your needs. And we can go from there on talking about the opportunities that come from that and a way that you can build home equity and sweat equity for this program, using this program in your home. So with that, Sean, tell us a little bit about yourself and Stonescape.
Well, my name's Sean. I'm from Texas originally, born and raised on the roofs. Been getting on them since I was about 7 years old, and started doing the work for real instead of for free growing up, for food in my belly and clothes on my back, around 17 or 18 years old in 2006. Did the work, fixed roof leaks, assessed problems, came in for quality control repairs, dealt with customer relations, things like that, and then eventually escalated into being a true repair technician where I can handle masonry and decking repairs and shingle corrections, flashing, skylights, all that good stuff. And then, be a good quality control inspector, and ended up here at Stonescape in 2018. They moved me here. They're dear friends of mine. We all met in Texas. They started this company, and a year later, they're like, hey, we need your brain. Get up here fast. We got a lot of work and a lot of people that need us. And I ended up making the move. And 4 weeks after I made the choice and got engaged and got a truck in the same day, I was here 4 weeks later and live in Lyons. It's unbelievable. I'm so grateful. The people have been really great to work with. The climate is definitely very different. I had a lot of pro tips to learn as a flatlander.
We get some snow here.
Yeah. Well, and condensation and rapid freeze thaw, and there's just a lot of these variables that are exclusive to this region that I had to educate myself on immediately when I got here, because there were things that I was not used to seeing of, like, how is that possible? Because we're used to 2 inches of rain in 20 minutes where I'm from, but you guys are used to 100-mile-an-hour winds with ice dams, like it's and hail, which is very much present in Texas, but again, the nature of it is very different here. With the UV deterioration on the materials to the impact of these heavy stones that can come from the mountain turbulence and everything, all the wind updraft and everything that happens that causes these storm events, and dealing with the insurance process. That is a extremely demanding part of my job currently, is helping facilitate that and consult with the contractors to the distributors to the insurance carrier for supplementation, the city for permitting and inspectors. And it's a lot of legwork. It's a lot of delegation and a lot of systems that we need to have in place in order to operate effectively at a high level.
Yeah, and I touch on it all the time through our videos and then with our other professional colleagues that we're working with, that it's so important to make sure that you get an experienced person that you're working with in that respective industry. So we talk about lenders being experienced, agents like myself being experienced, and Sean, you just heard quickly just all the nuances that are required, and that's just on the roofing side. That's not even touching on the siding per se. That's not the interior. So it's so important to make sure you're working with it. Now, Stonescape Steel Roofing, they are by far one of the best I've ever worked with. I've been in the industry, as you know, for 30 years, and they have just been spectacular to work with. And then Sean touched on his interactions with not only the client and making sure that they stay informed, but insurance. We have so many insurance claims that come in. He'll come in and do an inspection on a roof for one of my clients. Prior to closing, come in, inspect the roof. We'll get an estimate of whether it's in good condition or not. We just had one. This is incredible. He comes in, looks at the roof. The roof's in great shape. 2019 construction, had some hail damage, but it wasn't that bad. And Stonescape wrote a 5-year roof certification, good for 5 years, on this home, and it didn't cost me anything because the roof was already in good shape. And then we've certainly had other instances where that was not the case, right? And we've had to rush. We've got 2 weeks to close. Hey, Sean, we need to go back.
And I remember that one.
Yeah, and we go through that. So, we had spoken. There's, several of them in the queue. I remember one, Lemoyne out
Yep.
there in Frederick, Colorado.
Yep.
And we literally did the home inspection, and 2 days prior to the home inspection, there was a huge hail event throughout the area. And I had to get on the phone. We had 2 weeks to close. It was a cash deal. It was so important to make sure this closed. Lemoyne was retiring. We needed to get the home sold. I made one call to Sean, and he got taken care of. And Sean, you could kind of touch on how that experience went with Lemoyne.
Yeah. Lemoyne was wonderful to work with, first of all. We love to have good customers to work with, man. It's such a good redeeming part when you have some not so fun experiences in the past. But I got the call from you. You said, we're closing in 2 weeks. What can you do? And, in the time of a storm event, it's extremely challenging to get things done quickly because there's so much demand all at once. And, we got very, very lucky. We've got a great relationship with our distributor and our manufacturer of our materials, and we just so happened we're able to have material on the ground. So I went over within 36 hours of your call, got everything contracted, down payments in the works. I already had production ordering the material prior to that meeting, just so we can get a leg up on how quickly we can get the material in. And we were able to get it done, 3 or 4 days before closing, I think?
Yeah, no, we closed on time.
Yeah. It was a big roof too.
Big roof, total redo of the roof.
Yeah, tear off and
And
replace,
then even cooler was that the buyers had an opportunity to work with you.
Yep.
And so the new owners of the home had a chance to help pick out the shingles and the color that they wanted. So it wasn't just an interaction with the seller, but it was with the buyer too. So that's where you see everyone come together for the common good to get the deal closed. This is where working with the right people in a transaction is so valuable and so important. And you do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of instances where, I'm working with the buyer and the seller, and for me, it's just common sense to consider the buyer because they're the ones that are going to have to look at it.
Yeah.
So as a facilitator and communicator in my own right, just in the same way that you are with buyers and sellers and agents and all that fun stuff, I like to make sure that all parties involved are included in the process, but only included in the pertinent parts of the process.
Right.
I'm not going to bother if this is an insurance claim process, I'm not going to bother the buyers with claim jargon and nonsense, and I wouldn't bug the seller very much about it all either, outside of just, hey, this is what we're doing, this is where your claim's at, I'll let you know if there's anything else that you need to know. And they can still be as hands off as they would be in the home sale, even dealing with this process, because I'm the one that's handling, and my team primarily is the one that handles the insurance back and forth, the ordering process, the facilitation. We have on-site quality control and project managers that monitor our crews and make sure we do things as promised. And then my instructions that I funnel down to my team is what's reflected at the end of the day. So it's a very good layered process that we have in order to facilitate all parties involved, and it really helps for a good customer experience. And for us personally as a company, people really enjoy that experience in general, just because we're really, really adamant about proper communication, making sure everybody feels included and safe and confident in their decisions.
Well, I can speak personally that I've sent tons of clients to Sean.
Yeah, I've probably done about 50, 60 repairs for you, and then a couple
I have
re-roofs.
not had one response back in anything negative. It's always been positive, and it's been that customer service. That's why I keep coming back too, right? And you have customers on repeat business.
Yep. Well, and likewise, for me, I have customers that are getting ready to sell their homes and are thinking about it, and I throw your name around like crazy.
It's a good relationship, for sure.
Excuse me, and it should be that way in our industry as tradesmen, as people that are facilitating very complex and difficult processes and the acquisition of a home or selling the home or restoring the home. In any case, is important to have someone that's trustworthy, capable, and truly cares, right? So, in the same way that I care about my business and how great that roof looks and how it's supposed to function, you're the same way about the customer's comfort through the process.
Sure.
So when we're like-minded individuals, we can have a group. I have guys that I trust in my industry in trades that I don't do. And I'm happy to refer those guys out to my clients because, I don't need to have a slice on the top. I just need to let them have a positive experience with contractors, because that is what creates the positive notion to come back to me or refer me out, you know. And when people have a bad experience with a real estate agent or a contractor, then it makes it difficult for the next guy that's actually good. Right. And it's a bit of an uphill battle for those guys, unfortunately, when there's someone that doesn't handle the process as well as it should, or confirms their fears and hesitations.
Well, and that brings up another deal we worked on that I was just reminded of, but when you said that, was Tanner and Sydney, right?
Yes, so right. Yeah.
We had a seller moving the house out. The roof needed repairs. It was
that roof was old, and
it was 100% repair. Yeah. And so we needed to make sure that we got that addressed prior to closing. And the seller had the roofer that they wanted to go with. It was not only a roofer that we didn't necessarily have all the confidence in the world with, but was trying to push down a different avenue. And that to us was really something we didn't want to go down.
Yep.
And we worked out a situation where you were able to put money into escrow, got paid for the roof, we closed on it, it complied with lending, and then now, after the close, you were able to go in, work with the buyers, Sid and Tanner,
yep,
and be able to fix that home,
yep,
into a situation where it worked out immaculate. Right?
Yeah, they're getting a lot of improvements too. We're going to replace the gutter system, the asphalt shingle roof system, of course, but they are upgrading to an impact-resistant shingle, which gets them discounts on their insurance premiums every year.
That's really important. Class 4 shingles.
Yes,
Class 4
all
shingles,
insurance agencies will inform you about these products when you do sign up with your policy. Here in Colorado, especially if you're not from Colorado, if you're a transplant like me, and you're from a market that doesn't experience hail. You know, people from California or from the Midwest, certain regions that, they pay cash for their roofs. Here, it's not a very good chance that you'll ever have to pay retail for your roof replacement. Right. It should likely be a claim, so your policy coverages are very important here, and just understanding what that process may look like and why. But when you do go to an impact-resistant roof, it's a much lower chance, based off of the average sized hail that comes through here, that you would be filing another claim, paying another deductible, going through the process of having crews in and out of your property. So there's a lot of big benefits to upgrading to at least your Class 4 impact-resistant shingles. Right. And that's something that Tanner and Sin elected to do after our conversations, and it was relatively inexpensive, because it's just the sticker price from the 30-year builder grade shingle that insurance or a approved bid from the seller is a very minor expense to upgrade to this product, and you get a very good return on that investment very, very quickly.
Well, and the interest or the savings on the insurance is so important. That's a big deal. And then it saves when you do go resell your home, you can advertise it with a Class 4 shingle on it. It creates additional value for that, and then it also resolves when you come in and do the inspection, right, for the buyer. Now all of a sudden that's actually removed, so the concern for hail damage is greatly diminished when we do that.
And a lot of our part of our process isn't just peeling off the roof and putting on a new one. We enhance every single roof that we touch. Because codes are always changing. Every single year there is a new code update. So there are improvements that most roofers are forced to make. Right. But with us being Stonescape, we have actually a 10-year workmanship warranty. Most companies are 2 to 5.
And that's why you work with experience.
Yes, because if you do it the right way the first time, these are 30-year systems. When you do those nice little details, you don't just do your best and caulk the rest, and all those funny notions that you hear in our roofing industry. Because we have such a high hail market, there's a lot of roofers that are lackadaisical, because they're like, because by the time that's a problem, they'll get replaced through an insurance claim anyway. We don't see it that way, and we apply all of our customers for extended material warranties, manufacturer warranties, and then we also have a robust workmanship warranty. And for that, we do a lot of extra work. We improve the venting on the home, which helps with the lifetime of the shingle, the overall energy consumption of the home, and functionality of that home. And then, ice and water shield underlayments and things in valleys and eaves and around all your pipes and all your vents and things that are above and beyond code, is why we do things the way we do. Because we have a 10-year workmanship warranty. Right. We don't want to come back if we don't want to. So we love the words cheap insurance when it comes to installing our roofs. If we should do it, we will do it, is kind of the logic. And we don't do what we can get away with. There's some very important mindsets when it comes to doing things the right way in our industry, and that's the only way we know how to do it. So
yeah. Well, I know my clients appreciate that and how you approach it with them. And in fact, you brought up again that you go through and you make adjustments to the roof to try and extend the life of the shingles.
Yep.
You come through, and I've had several buyers where we've been able to extend the life of the roof enough to be able to provide a 3-year, a 5-year roof certification for the buyers to comply with both comfort as a buyer and then also for lending criteria.
Right.
And maybe talk about how you do that for our clients.
Absolutely. So my typical process in that, when you send me something, as a roofer, people assume that we want to tear off and replace and big money contracts every single time, sell you. And for probably 50% of my industry, due to their lack of education or ability to repair as a company or as a person, they do push for replacements. And in our case, because we have such a high level of education, we probably have 100 years worth of roofing experience within our team. That's W-2 employees in Stonescape. With that, we have a lot of ways to say no. This roof, well, while it doesn't look great, it is beyond half of its life, but it's only 17 years old. It's only 20 years old. This is a 30-year shingle. Right. There's a lot of times where I would say probably 90 to 80% of the time that you send me something, I am likely going to be doing a repair. But my initial assessment is a very detailed photo and arrows and diagrams and explanations per image about what the discrepancies are on that roof system, whether it's granular loss, blistering from overheating and lack of venting, flashing details that were incorrect, that were indicative natured, and I went and found those same details on everywhere that flashing existed on the roof, where we're giving you just basically a QC punch-out list of these items need to be fixed for this amount of money. Once these repairs are completed, we'll provide a Class 5, or a 5-year certification, so that way we can appease the mortgage company, the inspectors, the buyers, the sellers. Everybody is well informed from the report. And then we'll do a completion report to show the before and afters and make sure that everyone understands exactly what work got done and to make sure that it got done according to the inspection report and my report.
Right.
So,
well, and one of the things that comes up often, roofers, as you know, come into the industry and leave often.
Yep.
And so when you are getting a roof certification, make sure you get it from a viable company. I can't stress that enough. I mean, I have had buyers come back to me who are now sellers saying, hey, I got a 5-year roof certification. I'm selling my home within that 5-year period. Let's go, we can sell this with the value. That company's no longer in business.
Which voids the certification.
Yeah, so the certification is just a piece of paper and nothing more. So having a company like yours, well established, multiple states, well capitalized, here for the long run, with an ownership group that is focused on taking care of the client, it's a home run for everyone. So in any case, make sure to work with experience when it comes to that side of it.
Yeah, no, it's very helpful to have because it's not just me that has all the experience here. I have a lot of people underneath me and next to me and above me that I'm able to lean on, to consult with, to pick their brains. They come in and help me with my customers. I come in and help them with theirs.
Right.
It's very much a team effort, and any good company should and will function this way. And there's a lot of them out there, but there's a lot more that put on a great show and they do not deliver, and it creates a very difficult uphill battle for us good guys.
Or
that
an
come
opportunity
in.
is
And for me, it's job security personally, because I have no problem climbing that mountain. I'm very much used to it in my entire career. In 15 years of doing roof repairs, I dealt with a lot of people going, "Wow, you're the 6th roofer here. We're tired of dealing with this repair." And I get up there and I'm like, "Well, yeah, these guys are just caulking everything. We need to tear all this out, reflash this, redo that." And all of a sudden, I'm the last roofer they talk to. Right. I prided myself on that and talked to people a lot about, I fix roofers' mistakes. A lot of times doing roof repairs, it is from an installation crew that was either builder grade, where the same guys that did the framing are the same guys that do the shingles and the sheetrock and the GC quality work and with builder grade materials, or you get a fly-by-night company that has no intention of being a 20, 30, 40-year company. They're just here for the storm event from some out-of-state wherever they came from, they get their fill and they go home, and none of their warranties are valid. They could care less. They'll change their name and go bankrupt and put an S on the end and reopen the next day. And there's a lot of that within our industry. And we really strived from the very beginning to make this company with the mindset that we're going to be here for the long haul. We're going to be here for 30, 40, 50, 60 years and keep it in the family and pass it down from generations. Like, this is a generational wealth-based business that my friends, honestly, that I've known for 10 years that started this company, and they have been tenaciously adamant about the discipline, the culture, the quality of the people that we surround ourselves with, from the weakest link in our chain to the strongest, has to meet a certain standard in order for us to operate together.
Well, you know, it really shows, and
Yeah.
I'm happy
We
to work
appreciate
with it.
that.
So one of the things, getting back to the 203K
Yeah.
and the rehabilitation for you, so you're coming in, you're buying a home and potentially an older home here and wanting to put that sweat equity into the home. From the roofing side, how much do you think, if you put $1 in on a roof, how much value do you think comes back out, right? When you add the value, so a house that has a poor roof on it, it's going to cost, say, $10,000.
Right.
Do you think the value for the resale? I mean, I'll share my side of it,
Yeah.
but what do you think the dollar gain is by putting money in?
So it depends on the circumstances. It depends on the products that you want going back. We have several products that we offer as a return on investment quality product, being our stone coated steel products. They add 5% of value to the home. They reduce energy consumption by 20 to 30%, higher UV reflection, higher functionality in the ice damming, so no more heat tape and expenses associated with that throughout the winter time. But even putting on a new asphalt roof will gain a lot more value, not only for resale, but for maintenance. Yeah. With an older roof, you will be putting in anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 every couple of years to limp that older roof along till it's either in an insurance claim where you're not having to be burdened with the retail cost of full replacement, or you have to be forced into a retail replacement through HOA requirement or a home sale. There's not a whole lot of roofs in their older age that will go unnoticed in the event of a home sale. Right. There's not a that'll be fine or it's okay. Those inspectors are very strict when it comes to what condition they believe that roof is in, which is what prompts us to come out and give confidence to that inspector and the mortgage companies and the buyers that this roof actually is in good shape. It does look a little old, but it is perfectly capable of making it this far. But for me, when the roof is what protects the home. Period. End of story. Right.
Good shell of the.
Right. It's a part of the shell of the home. It's the weather protector of the home. It's the most important thing that protects all of your assets within. So I think, at a roof that's beyond halfway through its lifetime, it requires a rigorous inspection process to ensure that it could be kept along and it's not going to be a maintenance nightmare, or to be informed that this is going to be a problem and you can either spend $15,000 today or you can spend $10,000 in maintenance costs trying to get it limped along for the next 7 to 8 years and then pay the inflated cost of the full retail replacement. Right. So it's a spend the money now or spend the money later concept a lot of times when it comes to a roof beyond half its age. But prior to halfway, routine maintenance every 5 years from the very beginning is critical on these roofs if you want to maintain their dollar for dollar value throughout its lifetime. Right.
I know as a broker, if I see a new roof listed on the home description,
huge plus.
I'm going to steer my client, especially as an entry-level first-time buyer, knowing that having the extra money, we're putting the majority of our money into the down payment. We're buying that house for $1,000 down, right? So we're putting all our money into the down payment, and then where do we come, right? Now, having that roof on there, boy, that's sure a reduction of risk. And mitigating risk throughout the process is what we do as industry professionals. And then that's what we try and pass along to our buyers to ensure long-term success. So,
exactly.
So roof side of it. Now, in addition to doing roofs, you guys do windows. You do siding.
Full exteriors.
Full exteriors, and then you have contractors that'll come in and do the interiors too.
Yep.
So you have a capability of doing the entire system. So not only the outside of the house, but the inside. So when we come with the 203K, which a lot of times we're looking at a $25,000 budget, we're going to make sure that the roof is in good shape.
Yep.
We're going to make sure the siding, so the building envelope
Yep.
is solid, and then we'll start putting the rest of those funds to the interior.
Right.
So you can come in and we can do flooring, we can do countertops, cabinets.
Right.
Appliances are always a great upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
Easily
That's a big
done. Reduce the risk when an appliance goes out. $1,000. $1,500. What
Yeah.
refrigerators like $1,500
easy.
now
Before install.
yeah. So all these things start to add up, so we can get those taken care of, and you can take a home that's an older home and then tailor it, like you were working with the buyer on the roof colors, so you can start making an older home personalized to you. And that's the fun part about this. So you can take an old home, build sweat equity, and personalize it to yourself. And then you could build the sweat equity on this home by using the 203K. And with that said, then in a couple of years' time, very easily you could have 20% equity in the home, which will help you, you could refinance and remove that mortgage insurance. And I know a lot of us that have the low down payment, we take that mortgage insurance. It's a pretty sizable extra couple $100 a month payment.
Yep.
If we could remove that, boy, what a savings, you
Yep.
know? And that's
Yep.
where you come in and you can help them. And I know in the lending world, you can refinance 6 months after closing. So you get your work done. It's a significant rehabilitation of the home. We save the receipts.
Yep.
You provide it as a contractor to them, a full package, you know, the bid, the whole thing. You
Right.
show what's done.
A lot of information, yeah.
Arrows, as you said, arrows and photography, right?
Yeah.
And then
Lots
we
of
will have a full
documentation.
package that can be presented to your lender for a refinance and get that mortgage insurance removed. And that's one of the reasons why I love the 203K program, is because it does help entry-level first-time buyers. When you come into a home that does need some repairs, all your money's going into the down payment, and we're able to make sure that you still have a house that you love, right? It's not, you're not living in a construction zone. You have 60 days from the time of closing to the time that you move in. You have so many crews out there every day doing so much work that you're able to just systematically get these jobs done in a timely fashion so that you can move in and you can make it happen. I mean, it's fun to watch the progress. I just kind of
it's a well-oiled
get you,
machine.
I get you here to the day one of
just
60,
get me to the
if you
starting
will,
line, man.
and then you just take over from there.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy the work you guys do, and I love the response from my buyers when they say, "Hey, you're not gonna believe it. Come over, come see it, come to the open house." Just spectacular.
Yeah, we love the before and after process as well. It's one of the more satisfying parts of our job, is making something ugly look pretty again. And especially when we're able to give enhancements. Speaking to the refi, a lot of my customers, you know, when they do experience an insurance claim, the insurance is going to pay for what they have. Which is typically asphalt shingles, right? So with our products, we have steel in our name, actually, particularly because we want that to be a part of the conversation. Even in an HOA restricted neighborhood, there are steel products that are compatible and acceptable within even your fully filled out, you know, a suburb. They're going to allow certain products, like this behind me is steel. It's designed to look like mini wood shake. We have products that look like asphalt shingles. Barrel vault tile, reduce the weight on the home in general. This steel is like 30% lighter than an asphalt shingle system, twice as long lasting. It can stand up to softball sized hail. It raises your property value by 5% right off the bat.
There you go. 5%. We're trying to get to 20. You raise 5.
Right.
Man, that's
so
with one system.
Exactly. And so when you have an insurance claim, you know, a possibility, if you're, let's say that, you know, just like Lemoyne, if we were to have an insurance claim scenario where the buyers wanted to have a say in that process, well, they can take advantage of this program to upgrade that to a stone-coated steel roof system and make sure they will never have to file another claim again. Because with asphalt shingles, they're only as good as the product sustaining against hail, and it cannot go above 2 inches in diameter, or else that roof is wrecked, even on the most expensive, nicest impact resistant asphalt shingle,
Yeah.
it still is very much vulnerable to large hail. And tennis ball sized hail and things will absolutely wreck an asphalt shingle roof no matter how high quality the product is. But with stone coated steel, it's 26 gauge steel. I mean, it is going to laugh at that. Fires wise, it's not, the embers will not melt through the product to get down to your decking and to combustible products.
Right.
Marshall fires and the Mountain Cameron Peak fires and all these things that have happened in the past, we have customers that their home survived purely because they have steel on their roof. 98% of that was 98% of that of the Marshall fire was roof ignition. Wow. With Class A asphalt shingles.
And for those not familiar with that, that was what, 1,000 homes lost.
Yeah, over 1,000 homes in a single day.
In a 4-hour period.
Yeah.
It was unprecedented.
Devastating, yeah. In a typical normal neighborhood. We're used to those kind of stories up in the mountains because of all the dead wood on the ground and campers that don't put out their fires correctly or lightning strikes, that sort of thing. But in this case, I believe it was a nearby facility that was burning trash or something like that, and it ended up blowing over and started that. And we had 70-mile-an-hour winds that day. It was just total craziness. But steel is an answer to a lot of vulnerabilities as a homeowner, from maintenance to storm weathering and age, fire, energy consumption, heat. There's just a lot of benefits to those products. We do offer everything. We tell all of our customers about it, but we want to preach it to the world because most of our competitors don't want our customers to know about these products because they know they're never going to get called back. A lot of my industry loves the phrase reload. When we have a customer that we did a roof on 5 years ago, hail falls in that region again, we're like, yes, let's go down the list. And that's a part of that industry, a part of our industry. But for us personally, we know that we don't have to do that. There are homes being built with asphalt shingles every day. We know we're not going to roof ourselves out of business, and it's a shame to not offer our customers every option that is out there as a professional, and give them the ability to enhance their home, improve their home value, improve the energy consumption and functionality, and be able to truly get a benefit out of that investment rather than it just costing them money.
Right.
Well,
Sean, I want to thank you today for letting us come in and visit with you.
No, grateful to have you.
Talk more about the 203K program and from a contractor's perspective of how we engage the program to help buyers be able to rehabilitate homes, older homes that you purchase using an FHA loan. It's all included in a single loan package. It gives you the money to fix it up. We can do roofs, we can do siding, windows, carpet, flooring, countertops.
You can do whatever you want with those.
Appliances. I mean, the list goes on. So we can do home improvement with an FHA loan at the time of your purchase. You get a good quality contractor in there to assist you with it, and then you're off to the races. So with that, I want to thank you for the time.
Appreciate
Sean,
you, buddy,
it was
as
a real
always.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Love working with you.
Yeah.
It's we've been doing it for years, and we're going to continue.
Yes, sir.
And you buyers out there, we look forward to helping you with your 203K program.